Stoicism is a very mediocre philosophy, and it can actually be very detrimental to your physical health if executed properly. Stoicism is an ancient philosophical practice that attempts to live according to nature by means of self-mastery and controlling one's emotions, accepting one's fate fully, remaining calm in all situations. However, German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche thought that this was all an illusion that the Stoics were creating for themselves. He believed that these people were not living according to nature at all. Rather, they were practicing a form of self-tyranny in which they were creating a false, idealized version of what nature ought to be. One that is more centered around reason and rationality rather than pure instinct. But this is not the case for animals in nature. Not only do animals in nature never go against their instincts, but they often live their entire lives with 100% perfectly regulated nervous systems, which is something that humans today rarely ever experience. For example, when a gazelle is being chased by a lion, its nervous system shifts into a sympathetic state so that it can accommodate with the immediate stressor, which in this case is the threat of death by lion. If all things go according to plan for this gazelle, it is able to escape the lion and seek a place of refuge. But its nervous system does not immediately shift out of the sympathetic state. After it is done hiding from the lion, the gazelle will literally convulse and shake to rid itself of the excess energy that was built up during its sympathetic state. Once the excess energy or the trauma is released, the gazelle shifts back into a parasympathetic state of calm. Humans, however, conscious beings that we are, we try to bypass this process for the sake of rationality. We try to reason to ourselves that the danger is gone or the source of our trauma, that's in the past. But the body does not know this because the energy has not been expelled or expressed in any way. We suppress the rage or the crying or the trembling for the sake of rationality because modern culture or Marcus Aurelius told you to. But when an animal experiences something stressful or traumatic, it must expel that nervous energy immediately or else it risks running into the tissues of the body and being stored there. What results is a condition called TMS or Tension Myositis Syndrome, which was a term coined by Dr. John Sarno. Doctors like Sarno noticed that unresolved emotions and traumas often manifested in the body in things like chronic neck and back pain, migraines, or other autoimmune issues. It is an incredibly complex mechanism of the body trying to protect the organism from danger because the stress of the trauma that was once faced by the individual is being experienced over and over and over again subconsciously because it has not been released from the body. Because you tried to remain calm and stoic when you found out that your wife of 5 years was cheating on you, or because you wouldn't let yourself cry when your dog died. Don't get me wrong, I think that there are things that are wonderful about Stoicism, like the idea that you should accept your fate fully and that you should, not stress about the things that you don't even have control over anyway. But that doesn't mean that when somebody wrongs you, you should not allow yourself to feel those emotions and not be pissed off. When Marcus Aurelius found out that his wife was cheating on him with a gladiator, he had the gladiator executed and then made his wife bathe in his blood. I thought you were supposed to remain calm, Marcus. Humans should not tyrannize their emotions and try to control what cannot be controlled. Humans are animals just like every other animal. I'm not saying that we should revert back to an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but we should not repress the emotions that make us want to take the eyes of those that wrong us. You must allow yourself to feel those emotions and then release them in healthy ways, whether it's through exercise or mixed martial arts or dancing or even having a good cry. You can even lay on the ground and convulse and scream if you need to. You are an animal, and like my good friend Bam Lionheart once said,
it's okay. It's okay to bark and it's okay to bite.